I'm standing here with my 10-year-old son, Zachary Johnson. Today is February the 18th, and he said last night he had an encounter with a possible Bigfoot up here. Could you explain what happened, Zachary? Tell us your story.
Well, I woke up in the bed, and I heard 4 tapping at the window right there. And I went over and looked at it, and I saw Bigfoot's face, and I was staring at it, and it was looking at me, and I jumped up and I ran, and then when I came back earlier, it was gone.
Well, so you were laying in the bed, you say, right? When you first heard the tapping, and
Yep.
what'd you do? Did you sit up in the bed and look at it? Did you run over to the window and look at it?
Sit up in the bed.
And you saw, what did the face look like?
Well, it looked like a Bigfoot's face. It looked like a monkey out the window, like an ape.
Like an ape? Did you see its eyes, nose, mouth, anything like that?
Yeah.
Wrinkles on it, anything?
It had wrinkles on its forehead. It had brown eyes. And its mouth was closed, and it was looking at me.
Okay, now, then after you raised up in the bed and saw that, you made some eye contact with this thing. You said
Yes.
it looked like a face moving around in the window.
Yes.
So then what did you do after that, did you say?
Then I jumped up out of the bed, and I ran out, and I ran into the hallway, and then I went back earlier, and when I looked at the window, it was gone.
Now, why I was in the room asleep whenever this happened. I normally sleep back there with you all, but last night, since you were sick, I just decided to stay in another room in there. And the reason that you didn't come and tell me until this morning was why did you not tell me till this morning about this?
Because I thought it was you at the window tapping.
So you thought I was playing a joke on you or something? But it wasn't me though. But
Yep.
You thought it was, so you didn't think anything about it.
Yeah.
And then after you found out it wasn't me, you got kind of sinks in now something's different, don't it?
Mm-hmm.
And so what you saw could not have been a squirrel hanging on that window, dropping nuts on the roof, or a bear or something, or a man.
Mm-hmm.
So you.
Because I saw like a face. It like had a monkey face. It was big. It had a big face. And it was looking at me at the window.
So you think when you were laying in the bed, you were already awake though, right? When
Yes.
you were laying there awake and you heard a tapping. You raised up in the bed, looked at it,
Yes.
and then you could make out a face moving around with wrinkles, and you saw a nose and some eyes. Just looked dark and looked like it had hair on it, you say?
Yeah, it had wrinkles.
And did you told me earlier what you told me earlier something about when you described the Bigfoot, you said it looked like something in a TV commercial or something. What were you talking about?
That beef jerky commercial where it shows that Bigfoot in it. So it had that kind of face.
Something similar to that thing on the beef jerky commercial?
Yeah, it had that kind of face.
Okay. So that's what you told me the first thing this morning, is that you thought I was wearing some kind of a suit or something with hair or something?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's why nobody really got alarmed about anything to do with this or anything, right? I mean, you just thought it was me. Okay, so you said on this window, let's use this as an example. That window, if I'm standing over here, I'm about 5'8". So that window where you said you seen it, how high up on the window? Don't go back there. Just kind of, just point it.
Like that, the highest the window is like half the height where that window is. Like
Okay.
right there.
So it was half the height.
Yep.
So that puts it probably around 7 feet tall, 6.5 to 7 feet tall, maybe, something like that, around that area. And then you said it did what after it looked at you? You just left the room when it was still there. It never did go away till you left.
Yep.
It just stayed there, like it was tapping to try to get your attention. You think, trying to?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so I came out here today and I looked around in this area. I couldn't find any footprints or anything, but I mean, you know, I've walked all around here in the moss, and I can't see any of my footprints anyway because it's dry, kind of. But it was kind of moonlight last night too, because before I went to bed, I saw the moon real bright, and so it was light enough you could have seen something out here. You know, out the window, you can see real clear on the light nights. But okay, and so when I came out here, let me film this, Zachary. When I came out here, I looked around and I saw this little hair. Now this could be something else. Not sure if it's a hair yet. I'm not sure if it's something completely, you know, another type of if it's a hair, if it's something else. A piece of a plant, or if it's some kind of, we have possums, raccoons, I've seen cats around here before, I've seen squirrels. I'm not sure if it's something like, belongs to something like that, but there's this hair that I was looking all around here and I couldn't find anything anywhere, but I seen this sticking out right here. Looks like some kind of a little hair or something. So what I've done is I've not touched it yet. And I went in here and I got me a pair of tweezers. And I got a little bag, and I'm going to take that hair off without touching it. I'm not going to lay any fingers on it. And we're going to see if we can get it out here and put it in a little baggie. And that way I won't contaminate it with anything. And we'll see what it is. See if it even looks like a hair. So I'm going to do it right now on camera. I'm going to take the tweezers. And we lost it. It just fell out, Zachary. And it did look like a hair on that. So let me see if I can find it. Hold on. Today is February the 18th, 2013. And I'm standing here with my 10-year-old son, Zachary Johnson. Zachary had an encounter with something he can't explain last night. Zachary, could you tell me your story?
Well, I was right there laying in that bed, and I was awake, and then I heard a tapping at that window, and then I looked at it, and I saw a Bigfoot looking at me in that window, and I was looking at it, eye contact, and then I jumped up and ran in the hallway. And then when I came back earlier, it was gone.
Was your brother in the bed with you at the time?
Yeah, but he was asleep.
And when you came back, you said the thing was no longer in the window?
Yep.
Now, what did you think the thing was?
I thought it was my dad trying to prank me.
Okay, but it wasn't me because I was in the room over there asleep. And that's why you didn't get scared or tell me about it, because you thought it was me?
Yes.
Okay, can you describe what this thing looked like?
Well, it had wrinkles on its forehead, it had hair, brown hair, and it had brown eyes, and it had like a monkey face. It had wrinkles all over its face, and it was looking at me like this.
Okay, about what time do you think this happened last night?
At 5:15, I think.
5:15?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you were telling me earlier this morning, I mean, I was just kind of startled and shocked that you told me this story this morning, and you were telling me that it reminded you of something on television. What were you talking about there?
That beef jerky commercial where it shows Bigfoot on it, that's what kind of face he had.
looks similar to that, is what you can describe. Because I remember you saying something about something on television. Okay, Zachary, show me on the window. We're going to walk over here to the window and show me about where its head was at this window. Okay, if you can. Let's walk over here. Go ahead in front of me there.
You go in front.
And let me just, go ahead.
Like, right at that window, it was like right there, almost, it was like right there where that curtain is. That's where its head was at, right there, that curtain. And it had a big face, and its head was right there at that curtain.
Okay, because last night, of course, you had all the lights off in this room, and all that was on was this blue night light down here that lights up the room, and it's just kind of gives it a glow in here. And it was moonlight last night also, because I saw a big moon outside earlier, and you could sort of see pretty good. And when it's moonlight out, you can see outside good here. So, okay, Zachary, so do you think that this thing was trying to communicate or something with you, or do you just wake you up? Or
I think it was trying to communicate with me.
Okay. And you're not just making this story up, right?
Nope.
Because
I did see a Sasquatch.
I've asking you over and over, to tell me the truth about this, and you still keep being serious, and you always tell me if you're making something up, and I've never heard you do anything like this. So
I really did see a Bigfoot out there.
Or what you thought was one?
Yeah, but I really did see one. I'm not lying.
And there's no way that this could have been a squirrel throwing nuts on the house, or maybe a possum or a cat in the window, sitting up there by the window or something like that, or a man or something looking in somehow?
Nope.
Of course, when you're standing outside, that's at least 6.5 to 7 feet, about 7 feet tall, where you said the face was. So it's that's a higher window out there. Okay, Zachary, I really appreciate you sharing this story with me, and thank you very much.